In this short lesson, we will examine why it's so vital for organisms to overproduce their offspring in order to survive in their environment. We'll also take a look at the consequences of producing too many offspring. So our story begins with a swarm of aphids. All these aphids, they just engulf the banana tree that you see here in this picture. Well, not all these aphids will actually survive to maturity because along comes a ladybug, and ladybugs, they love aphids. So once the ladybugs feed on the aphids, then they produce their offspring as well. But in the same ecosystem, praying mantises feed on other insects. So when the praying mantises get a hold of the ladybugs, then they start producing their offspring as well. But just like the aphids and the ladybugs, the praying mantises also have to overproduce their offspring because anoles come along. And so do birds, and they all love large insects like praying mantises. So no matter what species you belong to, whether it be aphids, ladybugs, or praying mantises, you have to overproduce, just expecting not all of your offspring will make it to maturity. But what would this community look like if we took away the top predators? The second highest trophic level, in this case the praying mantises, would produce more offspring than usual, to the point where they would overpopulate this community, and therefore deplete their resources. So the overproduction of offspring exhausts their food source and limits their population anyway. So due to competition to survive, an overproduction of offspring can be just as bad. So in summary, in order for a species to survive in its environment, there always has to be a ton of offspring produced, with the assumption that the environmental pressures, like predators, will eat most of the offspring before they reach adulthood. However, the overproduction of offspring could also have negative consequences and create competition amongst the species.